Hey everyone, welcome to Stephanie's School Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie.
And I'm Brian. Hey, before we even get started today, I have to ask you a very serious question. It's a life or death situation.
Oh boy, you sound so serious. Okay, what is it? I'm ready.
If you were stranded on a deserted island, you have plenty of water, you have a shelter, but you can only have one specific meal delivered to you every single day for the rest of your life. What would it be?
Every single day? No variety at all?
None. Just that one dish. You have to love it enough to never get tired of it.
Wow, that is actually really hard. My mind is racing through so many options. At first, I thought about sushi because it's fresh and light. But then I thought about a Sunday roast, the classic British meal with roasted meat, potatoes, and gravy.
Ah, the comfort factor.
Exactly. But honestly, if I'm being 100% real with myself, I'd have to choose a really high-quality sourdough pizza. Just a simple margarita with fresh buffalo mozzarella, tangy tomato sauce, and a few leaves of basil. There's something about the combination of bread, cheese, and tomatoes that I just can't quit.
I totally get that. Pizza is like the universal language of food. It's hard to find anyone who genuinely dislikes a good slice of pizza. But for me, I think I'd go in a completely different direction.
Oh, let me guess. Is it something spicy?
You know me too well. I'd choose a massive bowl of Vietnamese pho
Ooh, pho. That's a great choice. Why that specifically?
because it has everything. You've got the rich, clear broth that takes hours to simmer, the silky rice noodles, the thin slices of beef, and then you get to customize it. I'd pile on the bean sprouts, the lime juice, and of course, a ton of sriracha and hoisin sauce. It's a soup, but it feels like a full experience. Plus, it's healthy, right?
I mean, compared to my pizza, definitely. But you're right. The broth in a good pho is like liquid gold. I remember the first time I tried it at a small family-run place in London. It was a cold, rainy November day, and I was feeling a bit under the weather.
Those are the best days for soup.
They really are. I took one sip of that warm broth, and it felt like my soul was being healed. I think that's why we love food so much. It's not just about fuel, it's about how it makes us feel.
I couldn't agree more. Speaking of how food makes us feel, have you ever had a food memory that is so strong it almost feels like time travel?
Oh, all the time. For me, the smell of cinnamon and baked apples instantly takes me back to my grandmother's kitchen. She used to make this incredible apple crumble every Sunday. I can still hear the sound of her wooden spoon hitting the bowl and the smell of the oven warming up the whole house.
That's beautiful. It's funny how the brain works. For me, it's the smell of charcoal and grilled meat. It reminds me of summer break when I was a kid. My dad would spend all afternoon in the backyard, flipping burgers and hot dogs while my siblings and I ran through the sprinklers. Whenever I walk past a barbecue restaurant now, I'm 10 years old again.
It's crazy, isn't it? Even if you're having a bad day, a certain smell can just turn your mood around.
It really can. But okay, let's flip the script. We've talked about the best meals. What about the food disasters? Have you ever tried to cook something for someone you wanted to impress and it went horribly wrong?
Oh, Brian. You're bringing up painful memories now.
Tell me, I need to feel better about my own cooking fails.
Okay, so a few years ago, I invited a guy I was dating over for dinner. I wanted to make something fancy, so I decided to make a homemade risotto.
Oh no. Risotto is tricky. You have to stand there and stir it constantly.
Exactly. But I got distracted. We were talking, I was pouring some wine, and I completely forgot to keep adding the broth. By the time I checked the pot, the bottom was completely burnt, but the rice on top was still hard and crunchy. It was a disaster.
So what did you do? Did you still try to serve it?
I tried to save it, but it tasted like burnt library paste. We ended up laughing about it and ordering Chinese takeout.
Honestly, sometimes the failed dinner leads to a better night because you have something to laugh about. I once tried to make a spicy curry and accidentally used tablespoons of cayenne pepper instead of teaspoons.
Oh my God, tablespoons. That's a huge difference.
I realized it too late. My face turned bright red after one bite, and I think I had to eat a whole loaf of bread just to stop the burning. My friends still tease me about it to this day. They call it Brian's Fire Curry.
Well, at least you're famous for something. Brian's Fire Curry. I'll have to remember that next time you invite me over for dinner. I'll bring my own fire extinguisher.
Hey, I've improved since then, I promise. But honestly, after that disaster, I started leaning towards eating out more often. There's just something about the atmosphere of a good restaurant that you can't recreate at home.
I agree. But don't you find that choosing a restaurant is sometimes the hardest part of the night? Especially when you're with a group of friends.
Oh, tell me about it. It's the where do you want to eat? I don't know, anywhere is fine cycle that goes on for an hour.
Exactly. And then someone suggests something and someone else says, actually, I had that for lunch. It's a never-ending battle.
My strategy now is to just pick three options and make people vote. No more anywhere is fine. But when you're looking for a place, what do you prioritize? Is it the food quality, the service, or the vibe?
That's a great question. For me, it's probably the vibe first, then the food. If a place is too loud or the lighting is too bright, like a doctor's office, I can't enjoy my meal, even if the food is 5-star. I like somewhere cozy, maybe with some dim lighting and good background music.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm a food first guy. You could sit me on a plastic stool in a dark alleyway, and if the noodles are incredible, I'm the happiest man on earth. In fact, some of the best meals I've ever had were from street food stalls where you don't even get a napkin.
Oh, I've seen those places. But don't you ever worry about, you know, hygiene?
A little bit, but my philosophy is if there's a long line of locals waiting, it must be safe. That's my golden rule for traveling. If the locals trust it, I trust it.
That's actually a very solid rule. I'll have to keep that in mind for my Italy trip. But speaking of eating out, do you have any pet peeves when you're at a restaurant? Something that just ruins the experience for you?
Let me think. Oh, I have a big one. It's when the server tries to take your plate away while you're still chewing your last bite.
Ugh, I hate that. It feels like they're trying to kick you out.
right? I'm like, I'm still enjoying the experience. Please don't rush me. What about you?
For me, it's people who are incredibly rude to the staff. It's a huge red flag. If I'm on a date and the guy snaps his fingers at a waiter, I'm immediately thinking, okay, there won't be a second date.
Oh, 100%. You can tell a lot about a person's character by how they treat people in the service industry. It's just common decency.
Absolutely. Now, let's shift gears a little bit. We all have those weird food habits that our friends judge us for. Do you have any?
Okay, don't laugh. But I put hot sauce on almost everything. And I mean everything. I've even put a tiny drop on popcorn.
Popcorn? Okay, that's a bit much, but actually, I've heard of people putting hot sauce on pizza, so maybe it's not that crazy.
It gives it a nice kick. What about you? Any strange combinations?
Well, people think I'm weird because I eat my pizza with a knife and fork sometimes.
A knife and fork? That's a crime in some countries.
I know, but only when it's really messy and loaded with toppings. I don't want to get grease all over my hands.
You're so proper. I'm the guy with pizza sauce on my shirt within 2 minutes. I think that's the difference between us.
Clearly. But hey, that's why we're a good team. You bring the hot sauce and the mess, and I'll bring the napkins and the cutlery.
Deal. You know, talking about all this food is making me realize how much our culture revolves around eating. It's how we celebrate birthdays, how we catch up with friends, even how we close business deals.
It's true. It's the social glue that holds everything together. I can't imagine a world where we just took a pill for nutrients and didn't sit down for a meal.
Ugh, that sounds like a nightmare. A world without the smell of fresh bread or the sizzle of a steak? No, thank you. I'd rather stay on my deserted island with my bowl of pho.
Haha, a pill for nutrients? That really does sound like a sci-fi nightmare. I need the crunch, Brian. I need the texture.
Exactly. But, you know, talking about all this delicious, greasy food, I'm starting to feel a little bit guilty. We've been talking about pizza, burgers, and fried crickets, but we haven't mentioned anything green.
You're right. We should probably talk about the healthy side of food for a minute. Are you good at eating your veggies, Brian?
I try. I really do. But let's be honest, it's a constant struggle. In my head, I want to be the person who craves a kale salad, but in my heart, I'm always craving a double cheeseburger.
I think that's the most relatable thing you've said all day. It's all about balance, right? I try to follow the 80-20 rule.
Oh, I've heard of that. Explain it to our listeners who might not know.
So the idea is that you eat healthy, whole foods 80% of the time. Lots of greens, lean protein, grains. And then the other 20%? You can enjoy your pizza, your ice cream, or whatever guilty pleasure you have. It stops you from feeling deprived.
I like that. Deprived is the perfect word. Whenever I try a really strict diet, I end up thinking about donuts every second of the day. It's like my brain rebels against me.
Exactly. If you tell yourself you can't have something, you want it even more. It's human nature.
Totally. But I have found one healthy thing that I actually love: smoothies. I throw in some spinach, a frozen banana, some protein powder, and it tastes like a treat, but I'm getting my nutrients. It's like sneaking vegetables into my own diet.
Looks like you're a toddler. Here comes the airplane, Brian. Eat your spinach.
Hey, if it works, it works. But what's your ultimate guilty pleasure? The one thing that is definitely not 80%, but 100% just for fun.
It has to be nachos. But not just plain nachos. I'm talking about the ones loaded with melted cheese, jalapenos, sour cream, guacamole, and extra salt. I could eat a mountain of them while watching a movie.
Oh man, now you're talking my language. Nachos are dangerous because you just keep picking at them. You don't realize you've eaten the whole plate until it's too late.
It's the bottomless pit syndrome. But hey, life is too short to count every single calorie, don't you think?
I couldn't agree more. Food is one of the greatest joys in life. It's about sharing, it's about culture, and it's about enjoying the moment.
Well said, Brian. I think that's a perfect note to end on. We've covered everything from deserted island meals to burnt library paste risotto.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone to check out the vocabulary focus in the show notes. We used a lot of great everyday expressions today.
Yes, and we'd love to hear from you. What is your deserted island meal? Leave a comment and let us know. We might even read some of your answers in the next episode.
Can't wait to read those. Well, that's it for this episode of Stephanie School Podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Stephanie.